Hello, this is Dr. Francho again. As you can see, out on the farm again and busy chopping out a path and clearing for the electric fencing, because I'm soon going to be moving my piggies into this field to give it a bit of a working over, get the soil healthy, aerated, and get some life back into it. And so another resource that I thought about, and this one is a little bit tricky in some ways because he has been a bit controversial in some sectors of the media, but at the same time I think there's a lot to learn from this gentleman. As a gentleman called Jordan Peterson made a lot of news last year especially, and earlier this year, and it would seem that a lot of people have found the message that he brings and a lot of his teaching, which is also available online, very, very useful. So two reasons why I'm keen for him to be a resource, and that is because one, he's got a message that could be very useful for a lot of people, especially young people searching for meaning. But another reason is this gentleman has been subjected to a phenomenal amount of criticism, innuendo, attacks. He almost lost his job. The number of things that was done to him in a very short space of time because he held views that were different from the majority of people around him. Never mind the fact that none of these views were actively either aggressive or discriminatory or damaging to anybody, but the fact that he was different, and this is a message for a lot of people out there, the fact that he was different was enough for him to be subjected to all this abuse. And nevertheless, he retained his composure, his beliefs. He didn't lose his dignity. He stuck to his beliefs and debated the people trying to attack him. Didn't try to attack them back, didn't try to demean them, belittle them, didn't use innuendo, anything like that. In actual fact, he retained the moral high ground despite the attacks on him. Now I know in some quarters of the YouTube audience, this gentleman will be controversial, but I think nevertheless, no matter whether you agree with someone or don't agree with someone, whether someone's your friend or your enemy, I believe you can learn from anyone and everyone. To believe that you can only learn from certain people, I think, is hubris to the worst level. It is also, I believe, if you are unwilling to listen to the other side, a recipe for disaster, because that is how lines get drawn. And if you refer to some of my previous posts about a year ago, that is how you start creating the image of the other. And the moment you start creating the image of the other, it's very easy to then progress to other bad, me and mine, and similar to me, good. And then from there it very quickly gets to a point where it's okay to do horrendous things to the other. Once again, I refer to Nazi Germany, I refer to things that were done in the old Russian kingdoms, the old Poland, as well as with the pogroms against the Jews, as well as horrendous persecution of gypsies, of gay people in the past, the things that were done to people in Russia just because they were a minute bit richer than the people around them and slightly more successful. And I'm specifically referring to the small farmers, and millions of these people sent to the camps in the far east of Siberia to die, leading to the most horrendous hunger and suffering in the rest of Russia, and people dying of starvation in Ukraine and all over the place, because the people that were producing the food had been killed themselves because of some political idea of the other. So like I said, Mr. Jordan Peterson, I think he's got a lot to offer. Whether you agree with his views or not, he is definitely worth studying. All the best and all the love. Stay safe.